What's up, y'all? This is Tweet, and you're listening to my boy, David Dwayne.
What's going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning back into On Air with David Dwayne, your one and only rockstar on the mic, My Fierce Wings Radio. Yes, yes, yes. I told you we were going to have our girl, R&B recording soul artist, too. Tweet is back with us, and she drops her new album, Charlene, this Friday. So I know you guys better had pre-ordered it on iTunes. If you didn't, you need to do it right now because she's with us. What's going on, Tweet?
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
I'm doing awesome. Excited about Friday. So excited. Nervous, but the response has been so far so outstanding that I'm just excited for everyone to finally get the full body of work.
Absolutely, and we're excited too because you've been putting out music since the last albums like that, but this body of work really is amazing. I got a chance to hear the whole thing. I got to say congratulations because this, like I told you before we got started, I listened to it all the way through, and I was just like, yo, this is R&B for real.
Wow, thank you. That's what I was going for. I wanted, present. A lot of people worry about singles, let's do a hot single. And they never are concerned these days with giving the full body of work, and that's what, my goal was.
So now, with this album, self-titled, basically, Charlene, what was, the recording process with this one versus, the first album?
Really, it's the same process. I used the same producers, Nissan Stewart, Craig Brockman, Charlie Burrell, and Jubu Smith, and, of course, Tim and Missy, so I kept that part of it the same, nothing different. But I think what my goal was in this album was to put the soul back into the music, and that's why I, titled it Charlene. It basically means I went back to the place where I was first inspired by music. That was before the nickname Charlene or the artist, nickname Tweet or the artist Tweet, but it was Charlene. When I was a church girl, I was inspired by all the quartet groups, Commission, the Clark sisters, Aretha Franklin, Al Green. So I wanted to put all that inspiration back into, into the music that's lacking today. So that's why I called it Charlene. So that's the only difference. I'm able to focus on that.
Right, and I'm glad you were able to, cause especially with I Never Should Have Left You. I can definitely hear a lot of that in there, and that's actually one of my favorite records. Tell everybody,
Wow.
about that record, because that's a real groovy, real smooth type of joint.
Thank you. It was produced by Jubu Smith, who did Won't Hurt Me, and as well as like 6 more records or the entire record with me. And he started off with the groove. I think we wanted to just do something like Boogie Tonight, which he produced as well. And he just started playing the record, and I just wrote it. It's basically the point in someone being able to realize or admit that the grass wasn't greener on the other side when they leave somebody. When problems arise in a relationship, you feel like it's not good for you, not willing to work it out or not work towards whatever it is, and you leave, but then you find out that the person is still doing well, and you see that person, and you feel like, wow, I never should have left. I should have stuck it out. So that's what that song is about. I love that record. It reminds me of a skate record, roller skating record. So it's one of my favorites as well.
Yeah, definitely. And I can definitely relate to that record. And on the other side of, somebody saying to me, oh, I should have never left, because sometimes, you have good people in your life, or people realize that you're a good person and they should have never left, and all you were trying to do was to be a ray of light in their life.
Yeah. A lot of people don't realize that their relationships work. Marriages, you have to work at these things, and when you jump ship at the first sign of trouble, you got to be willing to work it out. And that song kind of touches on a woman finally admitting it, instead of, we always expect a man to sing about how sorry he is, or boo-hoo, woe is me. But I'm willing to say, as a woman, I'm willing to say I'm sorry on some certain things.
Exactly. And what's great about this album, you wrote every song on there. What was that like, being able to, convey such, strong messages? Because, just listen through the whole album. I don't want to give anybody, any tease on these other tracks that they've not heard. But you really embody, like, a lot of life, and I can tell that, too.
Wow, it was amazing. I think Missy, it was always a writer, but she's the one that really pushed me out there to be a solo artist, because I never wanted to be an artist. And she's the one that really just put the fire under me to really just write my music, and I did that on the first and second album with the exception of everything that she, presented or contributed. So it just feels good to be able to, help somebody through the experiences that I've been through. There's still pages out of my diary, so you know what I've been through or what I'm looking forward to and things like that. And that's the formula that works for me. I think as artists, we need to have that control and be able to, put messages out there that can touch somebody else,
Right. And I definitely agree, because I feel like what a lot of artists have is being done. I mean, you can agree with this as well. It's like they're putting out music that really isn't speaking true to their heart. They're too busy concerned about, the label's saying we got to meet this deadline and this is what they want, instead of just putting out product that is going to really speak true to people. Like, for example, like Tank, his whole album, Sex, Love, and Pain 2, he's like, this is just what I felt to be neat to the people. He wasn't concerned about dates and deadlines. He just like, look, you want to give them music.
Right, exactly. That's not my concern either. My concern wasn't let's find a radio record or let's find something that sounds hot like today. I wasn't trying to compete with anything. I was just putting out music and putting the soul back to where it needs to be and music back, to where people can relate to it. And I think that's what's missing. And people are longing for that. Myself as a consumer, I stopped buying because I couldn't relate to anything. People are too busy drinking and smoking and dancing in the club and stripping, and now I can't relate to that. I'm going through something. I need somebody to help me, go through it, put on a record. But I haven't been finding that lately. So it's good that there are artists like Tank and Tyrese and Jasmine Sullivan, and they're still out there putting records that people can relate to out.
Exactly, and I feel like another record that I can definitely relate to, which is the single "Won't Hurt Me." Definitely connected with that, and it was like shooting that video, and to be able to bring out what you were saying, out in picture view.
Well, I always felt like if I'm gonna put some song this time that I wanted the video to kind of picture what the song was about. So it was exciting to be able to do that. Matthew Cherry did an excellent job, and someone just commented about it today and was like, we love that video. So it just feels good to be able to do that this time. And E1 has been exceptional at just wanting to put out product or visuals. So I'm excited that, I didn't get a chance like this. I just shot the video for Never Should Have Left You. So I never had that opportunity to put so much visual, and they just, that was their goal. That's their goal. So I'm excited, and I'm blessed to be at a company that wants to do it,
Right. And I'm glad you mentioned that, because E1 is definitely about being very visual. And I like the fact that you decided to, work with them, in lock a situation, because, they ain't playing when it comes to your project at all.
No.
Like I told you at Essence, they had that damn truck with the album deal, and I was like, yo, they ain't playing no games.
No. And I'm so glad, that God allowed our paths to cross, and Phil Thornton was interested. I thought, out of sight, out of mind. People were like, oh, she's washed up or whatever, but he came and was like, no, we need you. I want to help you get the music out, and he did just that. So I'm grateful to E1 and Phil Thornton and the whole E1 family.
And I think what's very unique about you coming back with this being your first album in 11 years, the fact that you didn't have to use any reality television to, promote this,
right.
But you had the opportunity to. What would you want to do? Reality TV, if it's done in a positive light, or would you want to shy away from it?
No, it will have to be done in a positive light. I've been, someone has even brought it to my attention now, or they're interested now, but I really want to make sure that it's bringing light to even the music industry and ins and outs and what it takes to do what we do, and then my family life too. But it has to be positive. I will not contribute to anything negative that's going on. I don't want to have a part in that at all.
Right, yeah. We can't have your music mixed with that bunch because it would be misleading of your brand. And the way that you're going this time around is, like, phenomenal. Like, even when we think back to when your first album came out with the whole, with the Verizon, with the caller tunes, how Elektra had that whole thing in Mona, how they had that thing going. This reminds me of that time, but just in a more visual way, and I like it.
Yeah, I do too. Yes, I do.
It's unique. So let me ask you, because I know you've gone to different media, and like fans hear the album like before it's come out, and just being able to hear the reaction from different colleagues as well. What is your feelings on hearing such a great response to the project?
Oh my. Honestly, I was very. I had anxiety because I didn't know how people were going to receive it. But as I'm going to different cities and different radio stations and meeting different people, the reception has been phenomenal. It's like, oh, my God. Just like even with your response or your reaction to it and your, remarks, it's like I'm feeling a lot more at ease, that I've made the right decisions to go with my heart and finally, do what I love without having to compromise, without having to, bend or break. I'm just doing what I love, and when people can appreciate it, it feels all the more better.
Absolutely, and I'm just so glad that this album will be out on Friday and people will get a chance to hear it because it's so phenomenal, guys. Make sure if you guys have not pre-ordered the album. It's titled Charlene Tweet's brand new album. It's amazing. And Tweet, before I have you go, we got to talk about, no problem, we got to talk about the hardest thing because I felt my heart resonate with that. I was like, ooh.
Right.
I was like, ooh, Charlene. I didn't even say, ooh, Tweet. I said, ooh, Charlene.
Right.
What state of mind with that record? Because I feel it.
I found myself holding on to something that happened to me in my life. I had a young man that I was dating, and out of the blue, we were on good terms, and out of the blue, he said he just wanted to be friends, and that was just like, we were talking the future and everything like that, and then I found out that later, a couple of years later, that the reason why he did that is because he had a baby on me. So that whole time I was holding on to the fact that maybe it was my fault or maybe he'll come back or things like that. So I found that I had to let go. And it was a hard thing for me to do, but I had to let go. So I wrote the record because I want other people to know that sometimes we hold on to things that are not good for us and we just need to let it go and move on. So that was, I wanted to inspire people through that record, just like I was created. I just want to inspire people because I got the revelation. Hopefully I can give somebody somehow to get the same revelation of letting go and moving on.
Right. And that's true because a lot of people don't understand that, letting go can actually be good for the heart, more importantly.
Yes. Me letting go of that whole idea of maybe he'll come back. And things like that just lifted away free to just live after that.
Most definitely. So now the question that a lot of our listeners have been wanting me to ask you is, are you going on tour with this album? Because they've heard the tracks that are, that are available now. They want to know, are you going on tour?
Of course. We are putting dates together now. I was going to go out with another artist, but I think that fell through. But now we're working on another route, so we're doing all of that. That's my focus. Now I finally got a chance to put the album out, so now this time I'm going to try to stay on the road like Frankie Beverly and Mays, and they're on the road constantly.
Yes.
So that's my goal.
And you know what? Sorry, I had.
Yes.
Oh
yes,
my goodness!
I want to.
But that's the reaction of that. That's the reaction of that because that's so true. Like you've gotta, be out there, and a lot of artists do, or I should say, most of the fans don't understand that you will see an artist do more shows than they will put out merchandise, than they will put out music because number one, to even realize the fact that fans really, truly want to hear more from you is to tour. And then to make money is to tour. and do shows.
Yes, exactly. And I planned, and I just didn't get a chance to touch everybody. And the second album, I didn't tour at all. I think it was just one little run, and then I just was gone. So I want to get back to that and see the people and touch the people and just tell them how much I appreciate all the love and support. Even in my hiatus, I was still having people come in and say how much they love the music and waiting for me to come back. So I just want to get to those people.
Sweet. Thank you so much for being able to chat
you.
with me again. It's always amazing. It's always amazing to see you. I'm so proud of you in this project.
You.
And no doubt, I know you're going to keep pushing, but I'm going to say it anyway. Keep pushing it because this is the best right here.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you. And I won't stop.
No doubt. So before I have you do a drop for us, tell everybody where they can follow you as far as your social media is concerned and anything that I had missed that you would like to let them know.
No, I think we've done everything. My social media is Instagram is tweet_, Twitter is ms_hummingbird, Facebook is tweet fan page, and I am tweet.net. What's up, y'all? This is Tweet, and you're listening to my boy, David Dwayne.